You needed it.
Chickens you used to steal,
I don't feel no more.
rabbits you used to shoot.
I don't shoot no more. Girl, you used to chase. I don't chase no more.
Get ready, brother. Your time has come.
Stand up, you sinner, we got you at last. You can't get away, there's no time to play. Your finish is going to be fast. Brothers and sisters, come on, get hot. We'll amputate your bododio and tie your bones in a knot. Bid it, did it down, did it, da da down. Did it, da 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 down. Bid it up, down, did it down, down. Did it, da 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 da.
Brother, you sure gonna get your face lifted.
And a permanent shave.
Ha, ha, ha. Where you want your body sent?
Body? Huh? There ain't gonna be nobody.
Ha, ha, ha.
You can't make any excuse. Go loom, till we fix up the loom. Swing your sinner for making chickens elope. You're at the end of your rope, so just give up all hope. Swing your sinner. We'll stretch you like a giraffe, maybe what you would have. Just give us a laugh. Swing your sinner.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. And red fish, blue fish. All right, sound check on Twitch is good. Fish. And red fish, blue fish. All right, sound check on Twitch is good. And sound check on YouTube. All right, we are good to go. Let's put you over there. I'm working on the cinnamon outfit today. And sound check on YouTube. Oops, something's still good dialed up. Go, let's put you over there. It's YouTube. All right, I think we're good now. Where'd my Daz go? There's my Daz. All right, cinnamon outfit coming along nicely. I'm going to tweak the rigging a little bit. It's deforced, so I don't have to do too much work on the... I'm just going to smooth it out a little. Although I really don't have to do that. So that needs to be done. Special morphs need to be added to the sweater dress. So I think maybe we'll try to get those done. And also, I need to set up the D-Force presets for the sweater dress. Actually, I'm going to pirate. We'll pirate the ones for the... No, I have to redo the ones for the tights because I renamed them. So, sweater dress, scarf, and tights need D-Force presets. So that basically will be default, full, and off for 3 of those. So I need to, and then we need thumbnails for that. I still need to make hierarchical material poses, which means I kind of want to set up some combinations, 4 to 6 outfit color combinations out of the material options. Material options are, there are 4 options for the boots. I think I've got 10. No, I've got like 12, 14, 14 different colors for the hat, scarf, and sweater dress. And then the tights have got 8 color options with worn versions for all of this stuff. Also, we have 2-tone options, so we're going to make use of those. So first things first, let's play with the kind of polishing up the items. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm kind of in a good spot and where I'm going to kill stuff. So let's kind of just zip up. It's kind of like taking a snapshot of where I am right now, just in case I break something. So you know what? All of this is kind of garbage, I think. So I'm just going to move all of that into my whip folder. And then I'm just going to zip all of this up right now. What mug do I want to drink out of today? You know what? I haven't touched. It's the J mug cleanup. Here, we used Jay's WP Guru mug today. Unfortunately, I can't get a whole can of soda in here. Freaking 11-ounce mugs. I actually do understand the logic behind that because technically a cup of coffee is 8 ounces. All right, so if I break anything, I've got a backup copy. So we're good to go. So let's break stuff. Right there. Let's start with making sure the boots are good. Did that come in post? That did come in post. So Control F. And I'm just going to check the rigging should be mirrored on both sides. So if we do that, it is looking good. Yo, it's Rod Shelley on a Monday. That is looking fine. You know what? I think this is going to be okay. Hey, and it's CS Bond 2. Hey, Charles, how are you doing today? Mr. Shelley, don't you have chores and stuff to do on Mondays? That's looking good. Let's check the metatarsals. Dum, dum, dum. You know what? That looks okay, I think. I could probably... You know what? We're going to tweak the weight maps on the heel just a little bit for the metatarsals. Let's break open the weight paint tool. Let's come down to the boots and we'll expand that out. And I'm going to do the left metatarsal. We'll come over here to tool settings. We'll use symmetry because I'm lazy. And I'm going to choose that. And what we want to do is just touch this up so it's a little less janky. I think, not today, happily. Kind of cold, gloomy day here. It's chilly and sunny here today. Here in the beautiful Hudson Valley. All right, let's adjust our inner radius to be 30. This is what I like to do. That should be 50. I'm going to actually, let's smooth it out. Did I not type in? Oh, I got to do for the smooth brush as well, 30 and 50. The rain hasn't made it up here, up to you yet. Not yet, no. You got rain today? That's the wrong brush. I think I'm going to take off some of the D-Force modifier on this. Started last night and still going. Oh, dang. Now I got to check the weather. And there's a giant Category 5 hurricane pounding Jamaica. What's the 10-day forecast say for the beautiful Hudson Valley? It says rain on Thursday. Am I still working on the robe? The robe's at Daz. Let me hook you up with a copy of it. Daz hasn't tested it yet. But I'll go ahead and get you an early copy. How's that? Just walked out of the shower or walked in front of me. You don't think bad things anymore. You don't need a robe then, do you? You really don't need that robe. If I hold you down, is that going to be good? You know what? Do I want to try that maybe? Uh-oh, Weather Channel's updating. I'm going to shut you down. I don't need to see that off to the side. Actually, I'm not liking the way that is. I think I'm just going to smooth it out and live with it deforming a little bit. I think that's going to be our best option. Maybe what I should do, I wish I could. One of these things that I hate about Dad's weight paintings, I can't actually set this to say, I want to just paint everything at 50%. It doesn't play that game. It either gradually builds up to 100 or gradually builds away to 0. But you can't actually say, 65%. Let's put that right in here. I could fill it, I suppose, if I selected polygons, but that's tedious. So I'm gonna take that way down and try to slowly weight paint the back end a little bit, and then we'll smooth it out. That's going too slow. This I feel like I'm painting stuff, and I feel like nothing's happening. I'm going to back that off. I'm going to zoom way out so I can kind of do that, and then we'll get back in here. We'll just kind of, oops, I didn't want to do that. I might have been better off just leaving this alone in Retrospect. Oops, I apparently touched something on the other side, didn't I? It's so finicky. Oh, you know what it is? I painted through and hit this side. I hate it when that happens. Maybe we'll back that off a little bit. Let's hit the Alt key. I think that's working a little better. I may just say screw it, and it might be good enough the way it was. You know what? I think I'm probably just getting it back to how I had it before. Uh, you know what? I want to stop doing this. I think it was good enough to begin with. I'm not making any real improvement here. I'm going to delete that and we'll reapply. I hadn't actually had any changes that needed to be saved, so we're fine. And when you load the boots, it of course posed everything. All right, metatarsal. I'm working with the metatarsal. So when I do that, I think maybe I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. Call it a day. What am I doing? Tool settings. White paintbrush. Select my white map. Activate smoothing. And just kind of maybe smooth it out a little bit more and call it good enough. probably good. All right, let's take a look at the toe. Let's reapply the pose. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, now we'll take a look at the toe. Now the toe is looking. Was I still weight painting symmetrically? I was. So I shouldn't need to touch the other side. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to just smooth that out maybe just a little bit and call it good enough. What we really don't want to see is any weird poking throughs. I just bend it and I just twist it. And of course, when you do that, I'm not responsible for what it looks like. All right, let's pop over here to left toes. Let's tools. Let's just maybe try to smooth that out just a hair. I think that's going to be good. And then I'm just going to smooth this out. And I think that's probably going to be good enough for the boots. All right, I'm going to reapply our pose. And I'm just going to resave this and call these boots done. Let's do that. Actually, I'm going to save this as a wearable preset because we're going to save the pose with it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on the pants, sweater dress, scarf, and hat. And now I'm going to... No, I don't need all of that. Never mind. I just need to save this as a wearable preset. So over here, we're just going to do this. Wearable preset. I'm going to overwrite the boots there for Cinnamon Boots, Genesis 8 female. Try to be careful not to accidentally overwrite anything again. Okay. Yes, we're going to save the Cinnamon Boots. Also, we want to save pose. And we're going to go down to we're just going to save the feet. And the right foot and say okay to that. Should be good. Let me just double check how this is set up. So we're going to go over here, look at the parameters, come down here and look at actor and make sure that all of this makes sense. And this is all nice and clean. That's all in English. These should be hiddens. Actually, these are left over from Genesis 9. So we'll pop over to the data folder and get rid of these, the Genesis 9 garbage that's still in here. Other than that, these boots are good for walking. So I'm going to delete them out for right now. And we'll just run over to here and we'll run down to the data folder. And we'll run into here and clean out the extraneous Genesis 8 morphs that we don't actually need in here. Like that, that. No, I need that. Those morphs actually do something. We don't need Chet and Cinnamon. I want to keep that. You know, that got created from the transfer. I'm going to leave that in there. And I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to get rid of Walter. And these are probably auto-generated morphs, so I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference if I keep those or not, but they are actually useful. So we're going to... Yeah, we're good. Should be good. We'll just do a quick double check here with a load. Oops. Let's select Genesis 8 and put the boots on Genesis 8. Is good, and we'll just double check the boots. And that's looking all nice and clean now. So I think we're all good to go. All right, let's take a look at the pants. I shouldn't have to do any work with the pants because those were just brought over from the MVP waitress outfit and the feet were chopped off. So everything should be fine with those. And I'm going to switch out of this. I'm in weight paint mode, so it does this weird flashy thing every time I go in and out. So there's the tights. These should be good to go. I'm just going to check these legs and see what they're looking like. Oops, I selected the wrong legs. Did I not put the tights on the figure again? Dangity dang it. We're not overly concerned about how that looks because this is deforced. I am getting a little bit of pokey through there, aren't I? That would probably go away with deforce. Let me just double check and make sure my settings are okay on that, though. So let's go take a look at general. Mesh resolution. Mesh resolution's a base. What the hell? I gotta resave that. Control Shift. Mesh smoothing. Is that back to generic? I think that's good. I'm gonna have to resave these tights though. Let's go take a look at these. These should all be good. Right? And there's the special morphs, so I don't actually have to do the special morphs for this. Control Shift, Control E on that. So I think I'm good. I'm just going to resave this, and then we'll just check the data folder and make sure it's looking clean. So I'm going to save that as the cinnamon tights. And are we good? Cinnamon outfit, cinnamon tights, Genesis 8 pant. Looks good to me. All right, let's go take a peek in the tights for Genesis 8 and see if there's any extraneous morphs. Ideally, I would have cleaned this up with the MVP outfit. And that's looking, I don't see any garbage floating around here except for maybe this thing that I never remove. But it's only 2 kilobytes. So it's probably not hurting anything. All right, tights are good. Moving on. I think I'm happy with the morphs I've got in here, and I don't think I need to do any real rigging on the scarf. Although maybe we'll smooth out a shoulder. But I mean, it is deforced, right? And once again, I didn't actually attach that to the figure. I don't know. Maybe I'll just smooth that out a touch. Just a pinch. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Not that if anybody complains about this, it's a deforced item. But on the other hand, when you're kind of posing before actually running the simulation, it's nice to have the clothes not get too much in the way. So I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. So we're going to come over here, and I think this is an asymmetrical model, so I probably have to do left and right separately. So we're going to expand. I accidentally named it wrong. I accidentally typed an X in there. Let's try this again. I was trying to do Shift X, and instead it renamed it. There we go. And we'll do the, what are we on? The left collar. We'll do weight editing on the left collar. And actually, I'm going to bring this one up too. And we'll smooth this side out. That doesn't really need it too much. That's probably an okay bend. That's just a little weird looking. Not that it is actually important. I'm gonna smooth it out anyhow. So I'm just gonna pop over here to the left collar and that is just kind of a goofy smooth. I wonder if part of that is picking up from the shoulder bend. You know, there's probably a corrective morph kicking off in there. So if we come over here and take a look at currently used, one of these things is probably doing a bit of a number. Oh, yeah, it's a corrective morph kicking in. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to just live with this as it is. Yo, Firehorse, how are you doing? Are you the person who used to stream Legos and wood burning? And did you have a different name then, or am I getting you confused with somebody else? Busy but good. Busy, busy. Oh, busy, busy. Oh, that was you. Okay. I haven't seen you in so long. It's good to see you. Bum, 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 bum. I'm tweaking clothes. I think I'm going to be happy enough with that. It was Firehorse Arts. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, that's probably what I'm remembering. That's why Firehorse didn't quite ring a bell. Good to see you, though. Thanks for popping in. I'm making an outfit for Genesis 8 and Genesis 9. Here, we'll get it in here real quick. It's a little sweater dress outfit. You might be that in the Discord. Possibly. So this is kind of what it's looking like. Control Shift F. It looks a little weird because there's transparencies going on. Can I not select something here? There we go. So I'm just kind of tweaking the rigging a little bit, although I don't have to too much. And you really can't see it because the transparency is looking weird. Here, let's just do a quick render so I can kind of show off where we are with this thing. Add back. It's kind of a autumn winter outfit, although it does have bare shoulders. But you got a scarf to cover that up, so that's actually what it looks like. We've got little slouch boots, tights. I'm going with a sweater dress, even though I've got bare shoulders. I'm calling it fall autumn. I don't care. I don't care. And then we get a scarf and a hat that goes with it. So I'm happy. I'm happy with how this is coming along. I'm looking to submit this to Daz for sale. Maybe in a few days. Fingers crossed if I can get it finished up and packaged. So we'll stop that. Stop that. Stop that. And then I'm going to go back to this. Okay, I'm done messing around with the scarf, so I'm just going to resave that. And then I'm going to tweak the sweater dress a little bit. I think I'm going to have to change the material on that because I can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to override this file over here that says scarf that you can't see because it's behind chat. Cinnamon scarf, Genesis 8 female. I'm going to say yes to that. And are you all looking good? I think all of this is looking good. You'll be watching. You're still at work. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the lurk. I appreciate that. And thanks for popping in and saying hi. I always appreciate it, even if it's just somebody flying past and saying hi. It's always nice to see somebody pop in and say hi. Okay, scarf is done. Oops, and I just deleted everything because I probably had it all attached to the scarf. So the scarf is done. I'm going to adjust the sweater dress a little bit. And I don't really have to, but you know what? That looks okay. I'm probably not going to make an adjustment there. I mean, granted, it looks, you don't want to pose like that, but I think that'll be fine. Let's check the arms out. I'm going to just smooth that out. That really doesn't make it a difference. And I'm going to maybe move you a little bit. So we're going to come over here and I'm going to expand that. And we're going to go down to the left collar on the sweater dress. And I'm going to activate the weight paint tool. Come over here and select those weight maps. And then I'm just going to use the smoothing. I'm just going to smooth that out. I don't have to be too precise, but it just makes it look a little bit nicer, even though I don't expect anybody actually use it looking like this. I think that's fine. Let's check the right shoulder bend and maybe smooth that out a little bit. I got a little weird thing there. I'm not going to worry about it. Honestly, this is just purely for aesthetics. Control Shift F, and then I'm just going to tweak the right side a little bit. And I'm just bending these arms up. Then we go down to the dress, right collar, weight mat brush, and then I'm just going to smooth that out a bunch. Kind of the same drill. I should probably go smooth that out on the other side as well. I didn't even think about it. You know, that right shoulder bend's not too bad. Let me see if we can tweak that just a hair. Oh, I lost my tool. Let's try. See if we can get it back. There we go. All right, I'm gonna mirror the pose over the other side and tweak the left side hair more. We'll do a swap. And then I'll come back down to the left collar on the dress. And I'm just going to smooth out here under the arm just a little bit. Good enough. Let's reset. And let's just double check and make sure my parameters look pretty. So we're going to pop into here. And we'll take a look at this. And we're just making sure all of these are somewhat legible. So all of those have got kind of human readable English names. I'm going to add some more special morphs later, but for right now we just have the hanging and the on the ground morphs. So that's good. Do I still have... I'm going to save this and then we're going to double check and make sure I don't have any other garbage morphs. So let's resave the sweater dress G8 female. Sweater dress G8 female. CO is just the code letters for cinnamon outfit. Target already exists. Do I want to place it? Yes, please. Is good, is good. Looks fine. And I'm going to accept that. I got more, so I have to add to the cap. We'll do that next. All right, moving along, we're going to take a look at the sweater dress here and go down to morphs and this and base. And this is where Daz saves the morphs. So I'm just double checking and making sure I don't have any real garbage left over from the conversion from Genesis 9. Like that right there, Freya. We don't need that. That's a Genesis 9 figure. That does nothing for us. The rest of this stuff looks like it's okay for Genesis 8. All right, we're good to go. I've already saved this, so I can go on to, we'll do the cap. Nope. And then I think I'm done and we'll do the Genesis 9 figure. Same drill. I did these morphs for the Genesis 9 version already, so I'm going to kind of cheat and convert them and just load them into here. Also, maybe I'll do a special morph. I'm going to experiment with that. I'm going to load these morphs in, and we're going to experiment with making... I'm going to try to put this in Marvelous Designer and see what happens. It's not really built to be dynamic, but if I can get it to look like it's okay when it collapses on the ground, I might just make a morph out of that. It's an experiment. Um, However, earlier today I made some adjustment morphs for the Genesis 9 version. I'm going to bring those into the Genesis 8 version. And we're going to do this. Are you actually on the figure? You should be on a head somewhere. Right there. There it is. Okay. All right. So let's sneak these morphs in. I'm actually going to apply the Genesis 9 shape to it. I want to load in the adjustment morphs. Then we're going to get rid of the Genesis 9 shape. And hopefully the adjustment morphs will work perfectly fine with this shape. So first things first. We're going to load in the Genesis 9 version shape. I'm going to choose a morph file. I'm going to come over here to the whip folder and I'm looking for, that's the Genesis 9 one right there. So I'm going to accept that, and that loaded in with no problem. So we're going to come over here and apply that shape. So this is the shape I made my adjustment morphs for. So hopefully, so now we're going to load in those adjustment morphs, which are all of these things here. And I'm going to open that, accept those. And it just created all of those. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So ideally, these should all kind of work. I got a little bit of, so you see the ears poking through, but that's poking on the inside. It's not actually poking through the outside. So I don't care. I'm just going to check my adjustment morphs and make sure they all kind of look good. That one's a little weird, but I'm going to leave it. I think these are going to be fine. Adjust move front and back. This way you don't have to go to the translation dials. Adjust move side to side. This is exactly the same thing as translating it on the X, the Y, or the Z. But it's right in here with your adjustment morphs, so you don't have to go looking for your translation dials. So I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to switch over to edit mode. I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. Now we're just going to Control E, and I'm going to make a couple of aesthetic changes here. We're going to set the presentation so those dials have a color, so that they look kind of like that. Now I'm going to move this out of this. Right now it's under this category, morphs loader. I'm going to just make a category called adjustments. So we're going to do that. We're going to set the property group. And I'm just going to say add just mints, and I'm going to not capitalize it. I've been saying adjustment. I'm trying to be consistent with that. Should be good. So now we'll just save those morphs and I should be done with the cap. Should be fine. Boom. Alrighty. I'm going to load everything up and then save it as a wearable preset with all the adjusted parts. So these are like the parts, and then this is the whole. So I'm going to load in the parts, and then we're going to resave the whole. Oh no, I didn't save my boots with. I did save my boots with the foot pose. What the hell? Oh, it applied to the hat. There we go. It did save with the foot pose. And the scarf looks good. And my sweater dress is looking fine. And that's looking good. So I'm going to save this as a wearable preset. So this is the full outfit. So we'll overwrite that. And I want to save all of these parts. And I also want to save a partial pose. So we're just going to pose the feet. So when you load it in, it automatically poses the feet for the boots. It is good, except that. All right, I'm getting closer to being done. I think this is pretty much done unless I tweak the D-Force settings any when we start saving those out. All right, so I don't need you anymore. And we'll go get our Genesis 9 in here and kind of just do the same things for the Genesis 9 version. And I do want to make sure Genesis 9 version works with the base female shape, so we'll dial that in. And then we'll go navigate over to G9 land. Right there. We'll start with the boots. The boots did pose the feet. I think I need to clean up the dials on this, though. I'm just going to double check the rigging. Footwear in Genesis 9 transfers pretty clean. So I feel like I probably am going to be good here. And these are symmetrical, so if one side looks good, I'm going to trust the other side's good because I'm that lazy. All right, now we'll check the toes. You know what? That looks fine. Bend and twist, twist and shout. Do I have toe bones in here? I have toe bones in here. You know what? I'm going to get rid of these toe bones in the boots. And you know the metatarsal is going to not bend nice. Although it might be okay. I haven't quite figured out the use of the metatarsal in Genesis 9. It always just looks weird. I guess if you need to adjust your foot shape for a heel that's kind of like that, it kind of makes sense. But the way they have it set up just feels weird. But it seems fine. All right, I think I don't have to touch up the rigging. I am going to remove these bones, though, so we're going to do that. Go over to the joint editor. And I'm going to make everything unselectable just in case I accidentally click on something. And then down here, we'll just make it so that I can only select parts of the boot. And then I'm just going to come in here and start selecting and deleting out these bones. Delete bone. Delete bone. Delete bone. Delete bone. And then I'll do this on the right side. I think I saw a script somewhere for doing this. I may have even downloaded it, but I don't know. I can't remember now. Am I edit? There it is, delete bone. There we go. I'm looking for the wrong thing. All right, I think these are fine. Let's take a look at how our parameters are set up. If I need to clean those up. Oh, that needs to clean up. Those are all garbage names still. And these are all hidden more, so we're not going to worry about them. I am in edit mode. So let's make sure these are all set to be limited. So enable the limits on those. Come over here. I'm just going to rename all of this adjustment. So let's do set the property group to actor adjustment. Okay, now I'm going to clean these names up right now they have this body underscore BS underscore garbage in here. And also we'll add some spaces so it's a little more readable. So space there, get rid of that. And we're just doing the labels, the user facing portion. The real name I'm not touching. And then we're going to save that out. And these boots are done. At least I hope they are. All right, should be good. Do I need to save anything? Yes, I do. I'm gonna resave the boots as a figure prop asset. Then we're gonna resave it as a wearable with the pose, just to make sure. I'm trying to remember. I think the bones are saved only in this file here that you actually see, and not in the data folder. But I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just going to go ahead and save as a figure prop asset. I'm going to overwrite that. Target already exists. Would you like to replace it? Yes, please. This should update my my morph names too. All of that looks good. I'm going to cancel that because I wasn't paying attention. Genesis 8. I almost overwrote the Genesis 8 boots. That's why if I'm not paying attention, I stop sometimes. Just go back. All right. Cinnamon boots, Genesis 9. This is much better. This one, I will cry less this way. All right, that looks good. I'm going to accept that. All right, now we're going to click on this and resave as a wearable. And this way I can save the foot pose. And we're not going to save those eyes. I'm going to save the boots. We're going to save partial pose in here. Like that. Should be good. All right, let's check the tights. Tights should be good, but as I saw with the last ones, they weren't saved at high res. So we'll just check the joints here. This should more or less look as good as the last. And I clicked on the leg, and that's because I have this clicked off to not be selectable. There we go. See, that looks okay. So I don't need to do anything else with that. All right, let's take a look at how that looks fine. This should be good. And we'll just make sure that they're still working. And if I come over to general, mesh resolution is set to high. And if I do Control Shift up and reset, still high. Mesh smoothing is on and set to generic. That's the way I like it. So I don't need, so these are good. I don't need to do anything with them. All right, let's do the scarf. Get that out. It will do kind of the same thing. And I just loaded it in without. There we go. That's better. So kind of the same thing we did before. You know what? That doesn't look too bad. I don't think I need to do anything there. I'm not feeling the need to muck around with that. Yeah, those are fine. I think the scarf is good. Let's check the parameter settings for the scarf. If I Control Shift F that, nope. Is my mesh resolution is set to, nope. Okay, we gotta change those. Edit geometry. We're gonna convert to sub D. I'm gonna set this to be generic. I'm gonna memorize this shape, this configuration, and I'm just gonna resave it like that. Let's double check these dials. These are all looking like they've got decent names. Is this stuff limited to 100? It is. And I now have a favorite morph. I love this morph. I love that it does that. So that's kind of cool. Everything is looking good here. So I'm going to resave this. And we're going to pay attention to what we're doing. CO Cinnamon Scarf G9. You can't see that because it's under chat. I'm going to say yes. That is me. Cinnamon outfit. Scarf G9. Okay. That should be good. All right, we're going to tweak the, double check and tweak the settings on the dress. I'm going to do what we did with the Genesis 8 version, smooth out the area under the arms. Just so it looks a little better while you're posing it. This is one of those things that is not really critical, but it just, I don't know, it just polishes the product a little more. And I'm just going to do this over here, and then this over here, like that. And then we just come over and we'll touch those up on the sweater dress. So I am looking at here, let's collapse the pelvis and come down the spine. Left shoulder, but left shoulder doesn't have weights on it actually. The left shoulder does have weights. What the hell? Oh, it's the arm parts that don't have weights. That's right. Left upper arm doesn't have weights. They're down here. Left upper arm twist and left upper arm twist 2. It needed so much twist, Daz had to do it twice. But we're doing left shoulder. So we'll start with that and we're just going to smooth that out a little. And then I'm going to come down here and we'll just smooth that out a little bit. This one isn't looking like I need to really do anything to it. And I'll just double check that. You know what? I don't think I'm even going to touch that one up. He said touching it up. So, yo, SROM, how are you doing? Speaking of legends, the legendary musician SROM Music is in the house, baby. Spinning the tunes, the classic movies. Always a good time at SROM's house. All right, I'm moving on to the right shoulder. I'm just tweaking clothes. It's the boring stuff nobody wants to watch, so of course I'm streaming it. Thanks for the shout out there, SROM. Or Charles. All right, moving along. I forgot to see if you were on this weekend, I think. I think I missed it. I don't know what I was thinking. I think this is fine. I think I'm going to live with that. We're going to reset the, I'm going to zero the pose. I have a zero pose button. I'll just use that. All right, now we're going to check and make sure the parameters are clean on this, and then I'm going to resave it. So we're going to come over here, and we're looking through these to make sure they look nice and neat. I don't have any garbage names left over. It looks like I have done that. Is this limited to 100? These have got limits on them, so that's good. I have a few special morphs, but we will make more. So those are working. I think this is looking good. So I'm going to resave that. Cinnamon sweater dress G9. Say yes to that. Me, cinnamon outfit, cinnamon sweater dress G9. Looks good. Then I'm just going to double check the cap. And then we'll just resave the outfit again. I think the cap's in good shape, but we'll double check. We'll just make sure. Food Week charity stream Saturday and regular Friday co-stream with Catherine. Ah, okay. How did Food Week go? I kept seeing Krista Cripple was doing that all week, I think. And a few other people I kept seeing in Food Week. Here's my cap. Let's take a look and make sure my morphs are working on it. We don't have to do a lot here. So no rigging involved. We just parent that to the head. Take a look at our parameters. I have adjustments. Double last year. Well, congratulations. Actually, if I do that, and then I combine that with an adjust back, it kind of can fit like that. Oh, I was going to make another morph for this, wasn't I? We'll try that just... Anyhow, this is looking good. I think the cap is fine. I'm ready to just load all of this up and resave it. So let's put the... This is an outfit that's getting really close to completion. And looks kind of like that. I'm going to render it again just for anybody else who just wandered in. Mostly thanks to Paintera. Ooh. I think we're looking good. I'm going to double check to make sure I've got mesh smoothing and all turned on. Let's cancel that. Say yes. I think I may have forgotten to look at that. So let's go through the parts, the boots. The boots I'm not using higher resolution. The tights I am pretty sure are good to go. Sweater dress is set to base resolution. Okay, let's fix that. I have to resave the sweater dress. We gotta edit geometry, convert to sub-D. It's now high resolution. Now if I do Control Shift F, okay, I gotta memorize that as high resolution. And also we want this to be generic. So let's memorize that. And if I can reset, that is good. So I'm gonna resave the sweater dress. And I think that's good. Alrighty. Let's check the scarf. Mask resolution is high. Mask smoothing is using generic. So I think we're all good. I'm going to save this now as a wardrobe. So this is the complete outfit. I can save it together like this as a wearable preset. Save as wearable preset. There we go. Overwrite that. It's the entire cinnamon outfit. Say yes to that. We're not going to save those eyes, but we're going to save everything else. Also, we want to save the foot pose so that it loads in posed for the boots. And there we go. Okay, all of that's done. I want to try to make another special morph for the cap, and then I want to make special morphs for the dresses. And I think everything else is good for right now. So that we're going to use Marvelous Designer for. Let's see how this goes. I'm not sure I can do a good special morph for the cap because of the way I have it modeled right now. It might go all to poop. It's not actually designed to be dynamic. And I removed polys from the inside that it didn't need. And it looks like there's more polys from the inside that I might be able to remove. I don't think so. I think I removed all of those. Anyhow, here comes Marvelous Designer. I'm going to put that there. And I'm just going to load in a cap object. Import add OBJ to garment. I'm just going to grab that object right there. We'll see how this goes. If it's just complete poop or if it's something that looks kind of like a cap on the ground. That's actually what I'm going for. Cap on the ground. Pile of poop, not so much. So if I just do that, it's not see, there's no inside polys here, which is part of it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to crank the gravity up so it collapses a little bit better. So what I want to not do is have you seeing these insides where there aren't actually polys. If I can do that, it'll make a good morph. I think I might be able to get one or two decent morphs out of this. I'm going to crank the gravity up a little bit to help it collapse a little bit more, though. We'll try that. We'll set it to about 2 Gs. For those of you who play sci-fi games and know what a G is. or work at NASA. You know what? I think that I'm almost there. If I can just kind of get this to pull over a little bit, I might go with that. It's like it's so close to being what I want. You know what? I think I'm gonna call that on the ground 1. Here, let's export you out. Or let's try. I'm going to export you out. We're going to try something, and I might replace this one. So file, export, OBJ selected. You know what? I'm just going to stick you over here in Morse. And I'm going to say I'm going to put right here on ground 01 to do that. So if I increase the gravity, does it make it look any better? And also maybe if we up the thickness, simulation properties, let's try 4G, thereabouts. My extra thickness is now fighting me. Let's put you back to 2.5. Let's see if I can So what I'm really trying to do is trying to hide the fact there's nothing underneath. I'm kind of close. And if this doesn't get any better, I'm just going to go with the one I already have. You know what? I think I'm going to use that. Nah, yeah, I'll use that. We'll export that as an OBJ selected. I'm just going to swap out that for this one here. Okay, now I'm going to try to just lay it on its side and see if that looks okay or not. So let's see how far I can undo. There we go. And you know what, we'll just kind of position it like that. And what I kind of want to do is have this edge block that off. You know what? I think that might do the trick. I kind of like, except I got a little bit of a roll there that I don't like. Let me see if I can just pull that back under. Nope, is it falling out? What if I do that? Oh, that's just now it's just coming apart. Never mind. I'm going to go back to this and see if I can maybe tweak that a little bit better. I'm going to lower the gravity so it goes slow. Okay, we'll lower that gravity a little bit. We'll up the gravity a little bit more. It's just this lip keeps rolling out from underneath where it needs to be. Maybe I can pin those in. Let's try some tacks. Actually, I don't want to do it like that. Are you not undoing? Of course you're not undoing. Oh, there you go. I was tacking too far away from one point to another. So I'm just going to kind of redo these. And I kind of lose, but that's okay. We'll put a little tack there. Put a tack over in here. See if this works. Let's try that with a higher gravity. I wish there was a way I could put that gravity box somewhere where I could always access it. That would be cool. You know, I think I had it probably best the first time. It's just acting weird. All right, do I have my tacks? Are my tacks still there? They are. Can I just get rid of, wouldn't it be cool if I could just click on this and say delete all tacks? How cool would that be? But no, that's not an option. You have to do them one at a time. At least I think you do. I haven't seen anything that makes me think that I can get them all at once. Okay, I got another idea. If I really crank up the gravity and if it collapses really fast. There we go, 100,000. That's like 10 G's. Splat. That got me the shape I want. So you know what? We'll maybe try a couple more things, but I think I'm close. If I say 5 on that, I like that. It rolled out a little bit over here. See that? Why is it doing that? Don't do that. You know, I'm probably going to go back to where I was. It's almost as good as it's going to get. If I do this, how do you look? You know what? That might work. I might just go with that, call it a day. File, although I do want to do that. And that broke again. You know what? I'm going to pop this in the blender and fix that. That's what we're going to do. Actually, let's do one more go. I'm going to switch you to 4. Yeah, and I'm going to fix that in Blender. All right, let's get this exported out. On the ground too. I think those are okay. So I'm going to make a quick trip into Blender with that second one. And then we're going to add more to the sweater dress. Hello, Blender. Let's import. Are you in here? Right there? Let's clean this up just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to manually tuck these in. It's got weird shading going on, but it doesn't really impact anything. But I'm going to clean it up anyhow because it just drives me. It just looks ugly. So I'm just going to come here to mesh normals and reset vectors. I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. That looks so much better. All right, tab in. And we're going to come over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to physically grab these points and take them that way. I have 2 of them. I think we'll move both of them at the same time. There. And how much? And you know what? These ones here could probably be in a better spot. And you could probably just get tucked back there. And that probably makes a bit decent. Now that since I'm in here touching them up. I can't see. You know what? I've got some stuff in the way here. Are you not expanding? It's because my mouse is in the wrong spot. I'm going to hide this stuff so I can see these. That looks fine. There we go. That looks like a beanie on the ground. I like that. Whoops. Do I got a little... You know what? I'm going to move you that way, and then you look better. Yeah, how cool is that? Activate export. Use the DAS preset. Come over here and let's overwrite that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop into here. I want to take this off the head right now for as if it's not actually on the figure. So I'm going to unparent that and reset it, which moved it just a little bit. And then we're going to load those morph targets in. As special morphs, I guess. No, I'm just going to stick them in adjustments because there's only 2 of them. Load morph target, choose morph target, on the ground 1 and 2. Accept those. So we're going to come over here into morphs and change the color of those dials. I'm just going to add it to adjustments. It's just easier that way instead of making another special category. So we'll just set that property group to be adjustment. There we go. Accept that. Pop over here and save everything. I think we're good. Oh, Rod's still here, semi-conscious. Up late this morning. Oh, anything productive or just up late? Is good. All right, let's make morphs for the sweater dress. I already have the hanging and on the ground morphs, so I'm going to use on the body morphs. So I think what we're going to be looking at is the ones where we pull the dress down and some where we pull the dress up. And we'll start by pulling it off the left shoulder. Then we'll do a version off the right shoulder. Then we'll pull off both shoulders. Then we'll put some pull down morphs. Then we'll make some pull up morphs. And I actually want one where the whole dress is just on the shoulders. I think we'll do that. And then I got to do that for Genesis 8. So we'll see how much time we have. You are good. Let's load in a Genesis 9 avatar. File not saved. No. There we go. Let's save this dress out so I know that I have a good version. Turn the mesh smoothing off. Set the resolution back to base. Export that. Morphs. Do I have a... I do have a dress G9. Dress G9 them. There we go. Accept that. Pop over here and load that in. Import add OBJ to garment. Dress G9. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. That's the one I just saved. Should be good. Alrighty, I'm gonna... Do I want gravity on? I don't want to add much gravity. We'll at least dial that back. Let's go with a little bit of gravity. Minus 2,000. Minus positive. Do I want to pin this down? I don't think so. So it's kind of off the shoulder already. So the next thing I'm going to do is just pull it all the way off. Somebody needs a little more gravity. So I think we'll just do that. So off shoulder L1 would be kind of like this. So file, export, OBJ selected. Over in here. Off shoulder L01 and save that. And then L02 will be that. File, export, OBJ selected, L02. I'm going to double check and make sure these are loading in right. So we'll do this in just a second. Okay. And actually, then we'll just put that back. Pop over here real quick. Select the sweater dress. And load those morph targets in and make sure they're good. Before I get too many of these done and then realize something went wrong. All right, those are looking fine. So it does that, and it does that. I'm going to do this for the right side. Then we'll do it for both, and then we'll do some more where we'll just pull it down to the ground. So kind of the same thing. I got to kind of work it down over that arm. Oops. And then I got to kind of pull you back into shape. Control H. Let me do that. That sort of makes it, you know, that looks so much better. I'm going to redo the left side, I think. Actually, and then if I do that, you know what, that looks fine. File, export OBJ selected, off shoulder R01. That's fine. That's fine. And then we're just going to bring you down a little bit, like so. You know what? I need to make that body a little stickier. We'll increase the friction of the avatar. I think I need to turn gravity off. Gravity's fighting me. I want to do that. I'm trying to grab this stuff underneath it. That's what I'm trying to do. Kind of like that. That's going to be R02. That's about as good as that's going to get. Export OBJ selected. Actually, let me tweak that some more. See if I can get it a little bit better. Let's stop that. Let's put gravity back on. I think I'm going to go with that. File, export, OBJ selected, off shoulder R02. And okay. And then I'm going to put that back to there, and we'll pull it off the other arm. Let me see if I'm going to try it this way with it strengthened. And let's see if we can just get you. That friction is really, that with the strengthened. And we'll try to get you pulled back up. That does look weird. So if I is the gravity on? This is why I need to be able to see gravity at all times. No, let's give it a little bit of gravity so it pulls down. And let's do that so it kind of flops a little loose. We like that. File, export, OBJ selected. I'm just going to call these down. Down 01. Okie dokie. And then I'm just going to slowly bring it down in steps. I'm going to add a little more thickness to that. File, export, OBJ selected. Down 02. Save. Okay. Keep going. I probably should maybe lighten up the friction now. I'm trying to remember what was you like 0.8, 0.05. Trying to get that down to the hips. Kind of like that. File, export, OBJ selected down 03. All right, we'll pull it down past the bum. Kind of in there. Oops, dang it. I lost it. I accidentally undid too far. I'm going to crank the friction back up a little bit, see if I can get it to be a little more stickier. All right, let's try that. Nope, it's not going to do it. Oh well. File, export, OBJ selected. What am I at? Down 04. Down 04. We'll go to the down the thighs. Okay, if I take friction off, will it just slide down? Maybe like right about in there. Down 05. Okay, and then we'll get it down into maybe right into there. It's 6. And I'm going to crank the gravity back up to normal and see if we can get it around the feet. I didn't get my minus sign in there. Kind of like that. Alrighty. File. OBJ selected. Down. Oh, I think that's 7. Alright, let's. Actually, I want to try something. Control. Is it Control Y? Yeah, let's see. Let's see how this works. If I just bring you up here. No, I'm not I'm not liking the way that looks. I'm gonna try to redo that. All right, let's I'm just gonna reload this in. It's probably easier than trying to undo. Import add OPG to garment. Dress. Okay. We're gonna pull it up a little bit. I think we'll pull it up in the front and up in the back. There's not enough in here for me to bother with the Windy Morse for this. Let's grab my pin lasso and we'll just grab a little bit of that. Do that. And it's of course gone down. That's fine. I'm gonna pull you up one. Up front one. Let me see if I can get you back down around there. Oh, now you're rolling. Maybe pull you down a little bit further. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. File export OBJ upfront one. 01. Okay, then we'll just go up to there. I think I'm pushing into stuff now, aren't I? Up front 2. And let me try something. If I pull you there. Does that kind of do? I think I need to add friction back onto here. Make it stickier. Nope, I didn't want that. Did you get stuck in the chin? Get out of there. Up front 3, that's what you are. File export OBJ selected. Up front 03. Save. I think the back I'm only going to do up back, up rear 1. And that goes away, and we'll come back here. Maybe 1, 2. I think I'll just do 2 in the back. And I want one where it's up on the shoulders, as if you're trying to pull it over your head to get into the dress that way. Although I don't quite see you doing that. But I'm going to play with that. And that's probably going to be the last one of these Morse. Unless I want to do a... I might try a cornholio. We'll see. Here, we'll do this a couple of times here. So this is... That's going to be up back 1, which means I kind of want you to still kind of be down in the front. The great bunghole, exactly. I have done that with shirt Morse before, where I pull them up over the head. I'm making her stickier. Hold on. Let's try this. 1 and 2. And I kind of want you to kind of stay down in the front while the back gets pulled up. Kind of like that. We'll do, there we go, that's it. Export OBJ. Up, rear, 01. Save that. Should be good. All right. Where did my pins go? There they are. Oh no, my pins are stuck in the... I gotta undo this. I think I put my pin inside something. All right, let's make her sticky. Make the increase the friction. That's what I mean. Increase the friction. Gonna pull you. Actually, we're gonna pull you out and up. Pull this in the back up. Try to leave the front down. File, export, OBJ selected. I think I just did this right. Up rear 01. There we go. Okie dokie. Then we'll just make you a little bit further up. And that's going to want to pull that up. And that's going to be up rear 2. File, export, OBJ selected, up rear 2. And I want to back up to right there and tweak the setting just a little bit and then re-export. Okay, then we re-export. File, export. OBJ up rear 1. There we go. I'm going to overwrite that one. Okay, now let's see if I can get the back pulled up over the head, or if that's just going to look completely not good. Oops. I just undid everything. Instead of import add OBJ to garment. I just accidentally overwrote that. Damn it. So we're just got to re-export back out of DAS. All right, now we should be able to bring you back in. That's better. All right, let me see if I can get this pulled over the head and completely asinine morph. Grab those. Actually, let me undo that. Let me see if I can get a little bit larger. There we go. All right, let's make her really increase the friction on that. I'm going to actually use a pin avatar, tack on avatar. I'm going to take that and put it right there. I'm going to clear this pin right here, and we'll see how this goes. I'm almost there. I think, is that? Yep, I'm gonna go with that. Overhead. File, export, OBJ selected, on head, over head. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to put you back. Actually, I want to try. Let me do that. I'm going to use another pin over here just to keep it from rolling towards the front like that. I'll put a pin attack. It's called attack. I keep messing up. That's edit attack. I want attack. I want to put attack from there to there. And then I want to select that. I want to make it maybe a little thicker there. And we'll just let it do that. So that is just ever so slightly better than what I had. Overhead. There we go. And now we'll put this back. Like so. Delete. Do this. And I'm going to try to just set it on the shoulders. So I'm going to just move the whole dress overhead like that. And see if I can get it to settle out nicely around the shoulders or not. Let's tweak gravity so it's kind of slow. And we'll just kind of let that kind of settle down over the... All right, I'm going to maybe add a little bit more gravity to get it to pull down better. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm getting too much of the I don't know. Maybe I'll just go with that. Call it good. On shoulders. File, export, OBJ selected. On shoulders. There we go. What time is it? I got 12 minutes. I still have the Genesis 8 version to do. I'll get that started, but we're probably not going to finish it up on stream. So, what that means, this sweater dress here, this one is done once we get those Morse loaded in. So let's get those Morse loaded in. How about that? I'm just going to grab all of these, except I don't want hanging, and I don't want on the ground, because those are already done. And then we're just open that and accept and see if anything failed. No failures. Yay. All right, let's make these look pretty. Let's change the dial colors. That's the special color right there with black. And accept that. And now we got new dial colors. All right, let's move these over into the special category. So we'll set the property group. And actor and specials, that's where they belong. Put that all in there. Come into here. And we can just kind of check, see that our morphs are kind of doing what they're supposed to do. What happened to overhead? There it is. I am the great Cornholio. All right. I'm happy with those. Dum, dum, dum. Let's save those morphs out. Base. Click. Accept. Should be good. All right, what do I got in here? Do I have a Genesis 8 in here? Probably not. I'm going to save this. He said not being really bold enough just to close the file without saving. Um, I probably won't need this, but as soon as I say that, I'm going to regret it. So let's do a file save as scene, and I'm just going to call it whip because I don't really need to keep it around, but just in case something screws up in the next hour, I've got a backup copy right here. And we'll start doing this. So, and also we'll be looking for somebody to raid in a few minutes here. I am done with this, so I can delete you, and I can delete you, and we can load in this one right here. And I should have an already good version of the dress that I can just file import add obj to garment here. And I'm probably going to pull you out of here, and somewhere in here should be sweater dress. I think that's a good version. I probably should save out one just to be sure. So we'll save this out. Couple of things we want to do though. We want to make sure our resolution. My resolution is base. Oh no. I have to resave this as high. I'll do that later. And my mesh smoothing is off. Anyhow, so this is good. I'm going to resave. I'm going to save you. But I have to remember to resave this at high resolution with the mesh smoothing turned on later. Activate export. Let's come over here. Let's do this. Copy here. And call UG8F. Do that. Let's rename you. And I'm going to. Oh, am I changing? No, don't change the extension. Stimpy, you fool. Okay, so I'm going to overwrite that with this. Come under here. Come over here to this folder. And then I have these names already sitting here, and it kind of reminds me what I need to save. So here, we're going to open you up. And you know what? I think I'll just get the off the arm ones first, and then we'll call it a day. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's make you increase the friction. And then let's pull off the left arm. I should probably lower the friction first. That might go a little easier. Right now it's just super sticky, right? Oh, there we go. That looks kind of good. My phone made a noise. Why is my... Oh, so much spam calls. All right, Control H. Off shoulder L. Do I have you selected? I do. Okay. File, export, OBJ selected. If I do date modified, so kind of, there it is. Have them in order. All right, now I'm going to increase the friction here because we want it to be a little stickier. Let's see if I can just get you. Pull down to there. We're going to do that and then let that settle. And then export that out. And that is shoulder LO2. There we go. Do that and then put this back. Like that. Are you still... Take the static friction off of there. Pull you off the arm here. Get you kind of fixed back into place. Control H on that. Select this. File export OBJ selected. That is R1. All right, let's increase the friction so that it sticks a little bit better. Go back to strengthening while I do this. Like that, and then unstrengthen, and that's probably good right there. I can start the downwards. I got just a few more minutes. All right, let's get that off this arm. Do I have my friction turned up? I think I do. Let's get you pulled back up. All right. That is what I'm calling down 01. What happened to down 04? Did I lose down 04? Oh no, I gotta do another down 04. Maybe I just forgot to save it. Anyhow, that's going to be 2. And I think I'm going to stop here for the day. At least stop the stream. Do I want to replace it? Yeah, let's replace it. Is good. Hey, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We'll leave this up. Let me give you a render where I am right now. This is in really good shape. I am getting really close to... Ideally, I will have this done, and I'm going to start working on promos to get this submitted to Daz. So probably not tomorrow the way I usually work, but definitely by Wednesday, I think. Hey, thanks for being here, Rod. Appreciate you, man. Let's do so let's just set you to render. A huge shout out to CS Bond 2. Also, make sure you're following SROM Music, super cool cat. That's not how you spell CS. And Rod Shelley. I need a, you know what? I need a noise for SROM. SROM doesn't got a noise yet, does he? That's not even a command. I'm pretty sure I have an SROM command, right? Yeah, I haven't made a sound for SROM yet. What I have to do is I have to sample something from his stream, I think. So maybe before 2027, we might have that done. Anyhow, let's see who's on the Twitch first, and let's go rate somebody. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. At the rate this is going, I'm probably going to be playing with something else. And we'll see how that works out. Dum da dum da dum da dum da dum. Where are we? Where's Twitch? Hey, if there's anybody watching on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe. And you're on Twitch, feel free to join the raid. Let's see who is on in the Twitch first. We're looking for art friends, and then we look for music friends. So that's kind of the order. Let's see if any of the art friends are on. The fewer viewers, the better. I'm not seeing any of the close art friends. Honestly, I'm not even seeing any good music friends today. Andromeda Creates. What do they do, and why am I following them? Mad Concepts. I don't know about that. And I'm running out of. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of choices here. Let me see. Corpse Bride featuring Glass by. I'm not sure what they do, but you know what? Maybe we'll just relax or co-work while I oil paint on vinyl records. There we go. Let's do that. Let's go over and say hi to Andromeda Creates. They are. It looks like they are. Are they co-streaming with somebody? No, that's the ask to join the stream. All right, let's just do that. Oh, and Firehorse. It was good to see if you're still around and lurking. Um, what am I doing? I'm raiding. We got raid calls. Hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Buy my shit. Hey, I have a Discord. Feel free to join. Hey, we've got raid calls. If you're not a sub, use that one. If you are a sub, use the sub raid call. And let's do this /raid. Andromeda Creates. Let's just go over and say hi to them. All right, raid has been created. Thank you all for being here. If I don't see, yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Alrighty, hasta la vista, baby.